Hi, everyone. Welcome to Frosmo's LinkedIn Live. I'm Miksu Gamarus, CEO and founder of Frosmo. And today we have a very special LinkedIn Live event. And I have two guests with me. So we have here Mats and Moritz from Contentful. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves briefly?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Mats Hellström, based in Stockholm, and I mainly work with solution partners for Contentful.
Yeah, and my name's Moritz. I'm based in Berlin, and I work with the marketing department here at Contentful, and I manage the team building our marketing website. And so I'm the direct Frosmo user in this talk.
Fantastic. It's good to have you guys. And the topic of today is that we have a brand new app, which we have just launched at the Contentful marketplace. And this event is sort of to a little bit celebrate that, and of course to talk about what Contentful is about, what personalization is about, and what does this magical app do. Maybe Matti, it would be a good idea if you could just briefly tell what Contentful is and what does it do to those who don't know.
Yeah, sure. So Contentful is a content platform. It's the repository where you would store, organize any kind of content that you have, that you want to distribute throughout almost any channel that you have in any format you like. So it's a super versatile solution for working with content. Like that's the 30-second version of the Contentful pitch, I think.
That's good. And I have to say, you guys have been very successful. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I think at least here in the Nordics, I think every second company we're talking to is either a Contentful user or about to become one.
That's good. Yeah, let's get the second half. Let's get everyone on board here.
Yeah. I like that attitude.
Yeah.
Of course, you guys are joining Frosmo channel, but if you're not familiar with Frosmo, what we do is we're a personalization software, primarily for retail and media companies, medium to large companies operating in consumer businesses. We have also some B2B clients. So if you are a B2B company with a lot of products, personalization can definitely deliver great value for you. So don't be shy about that. But let's get to today's topic. So as I mentioned, oh wow, this is new user interface in StreamYard. Sorry about that. So as I mentioned, we have just launched a brand new Frosmo app at the Contentful marketplace. Here in the slide we see on the slide we see the image captured from the Contentful marketplace about the Frosmo app, which you can install directly from there if you're a Frosmo user. Am I right, guys, if I say that Frosmo is the first Finnish app at the market?
Yes, I think you're absolutely right in that. I can't think of any other Finnish app on the Finnish market. So well done, Frosmo.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's awesome.
Hmm?
So yeah, we actually have had a great cooperation or partnership with Contentful quite a few years already, and funny enough, Contentful is also using Frosmo at their own website. I think for over a year now. What do you say, Moritz? Has it been a year?
Absolutely. It has. It's well over a year, I think, now. So this is and it was quite successful also. And maybe I can tell a bit about how we use it and why we use it, because like just as Mats mentioned earlier, Contentful is a very versatile product that is very powerful, but also complex in terms of what you can do with it. And there's a lot of people we need to speak to in terms of our marketing website. So we have very, very diverse audiences. We have people from a technical background. We have content people. We have all these kind of people that we want to obviously greet with relevant content, because like if we just have a very generic message out there, people will not find what they're looking for and they might turn somewhere else. So we implemented Frosmo basically to make sure that we can identify and address our different audiences in an effective way. And we do that in various ways, really. But for example, one thing we do is we create variations of certain components or modules on the website and serve different variations to different people based on who we think they are, in terms of, are you a developer, are you somewhere else, or also based on what they did previously on the website, like have they looked at certain content bits. And so we do these kind of personalization modifications. And what we also do, and what Frosmo was really helpful with, is content recommendations, because we have a very powerful mature product, and we have lots of information on how to use it, best practices, all kind of help articles, etc. And we really can't manually, the editorial team can't manually handpick, select, and surface recommendations to everyone who comes to the website. And this is where Frosmo kicks in, which just naturally starts learning about user intents and behaviors and affinities, if we want to use the official language. And then, for example, drives the blog content recommendations on our website. And that's really helpful there.
That's really fantastic to hear. And I think you pinpointed probably the two biggest use cases we've seen with our customers. So the first is that the personalization is really about improving the user experience. When it's easier to find what you're looking for at the site, and when everything just feels convenient, of course you like the site more, right? We all know that. And then it's been studied over and over again that if the user experience is better, then you get more leads, your average order value grows, your conversions improve, so all that works. But the second thing also, which you started to talk about here, is this automation, this automation part. So do you think it has reduced stress from your team and has reduced the amount of manual work?
Absolutely. It's, for us, the alternative was basically don't do recommendations at all or automate them, because it's just too much effort. If you have a couple of thousand articles floating around, how can you make sure to have up-to-date content recommendations that learn from what users want? And so absolutely, it was a huge benefit to have that option now.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what we're seeing all over and over again. Content teams, marketing teams, e-commerce teams, they're so busy with so many different tasks that any automation really is a big relief.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So yeah, together with Contentful, we've built an app, and actually Moritz and his team has worked quite a bit with us on that. Would you like to tell a little bit about that process and how it all started and how it came together?
Yeah. So first of all, obviously, we're using our own product to drive our website. So we are heavy Contentful users. And so it just came naturally that when Frosmo thought about building their own Contentful app, that they talked to us, because we've been collaborating with Frosmo, obviously, to implement the product on our website. But also we know the product, our product, pretty well. And so we basically had a series of conversations and brainstorming sessions to identify, the most, let's say, valuable and also viable use cases to get started with, because there's always you can do a lot of things, but we really drew from our experience and thinking about, for example, how we set up Frosmo modifications or experiments using the Frosmo admin interface, rather than doing it directly in the Contentful app, which was kind of the key pain point in terms of bringing more people to use the Frosmo app. Because yes, I can do it all myself, but then I become the bottleneck. Yeah. And you also don't want to onboard the entire content team into Frosmo. So we basically looked for something how can we connect the dots and make it easier for a very big distributed team of editors to use the tool. And that was, I think, the main motivation behind the app now.
Fantastic. And I think you have great points there, because if we think about who should be responsible for personalization and optimization, that should be primarily at the focus of one team to make it coherent. But then you have a lot of people who are managing, for example, the content, or for example, in e-commerce, the products, and then the information related to those products.
Exactly.
So they should be able to use the processes they've already learned and the software they've already learned to use, but then enhance those with personalization.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's been a fantastic collaboration with you guys, and yeah, that's exactly what we created. So if you're a Frosmo customer, you can install this app directly from the Contentful marketplace. That's super easy. And then what it does in practice, it inside Contentful, you get sort of a nice drop down where you can choose Frosmo segments from. So the team who's responsible for the personalization can create different segments and agree the naming together inside the company, so everyone understand what it refers to, and then anyone in the content team can then choose and use those segments for personalization. And as we work together with the Contentful team, the idea was really to focus on that it's natural part of the content generators and editors workflow. So if I've understood correctly, I'm not the content professional, but in a lot of the cases, it starts from defining the persona who you want to target this content to. So this sort of adds a natural step to it, that you have actually that group of people you want to target the content with right there when you're adding it to the Contentful.
Yeah, exactly. And this is something like, especially our content team, they're very, very considerate about like whom are we writing to, like this, like what's the message for this audience, what's the message for this audience. And so they have personas in mind. And all we need to do now is to set them up in Frosmo, and then they can just in the natural flow connect the dots and make sure to assign the right target audience to the right piece of content.
Fantastic. That's great to hear. And the last thing is this, which I'd like to a little bit hear more about from you guys. Like, it enables modular website and landing pages. What do you guys mean with that? And if I've understood correctly, it's somehow part of the whole Contentful philosophy.
Yes. So Contentful as a product is about like structured content that is reusable and flexible to apply and mix and match and move around across different websites, obviously, but also across very different kind of ways of applying content. But for like back to the website topic, maybe like here in our marketing context, we have a very, very straightforward challenge. We have a very sophisticated marketing website with a huge department creating content, editing content, moving things around, building campaigns, making sure we have white papers to offer that explain best practices, etc. And this is a lot of like daily activity that cannot go through like the small web team that we are. Like we are 6 people working on the website.
Yeah.
And we can't just update the page all of the time. So what we have is a very distributed model of contributors who set things up in a hopefully, and that's what we worked on quite a bit, like self-empowered way, self-service way. And a core asset of that approach is that we have created a content type in Contentful that we call the modular landing page, which is basically a page builder, not in terms of laying out, but in terms of taking components. Like I want to have a set of links, I want to have a block of text, I want to reference a video and these kind of things, and set up these building blocks so that editors can themselves create a landing page within Contentful, just thinking in content blocks and just like putting them like pearls on a string, putting things on that page. And so that is something we've been doing for also over a year. But now with the new Frosmo app, this kind of connects to the whole target audience as well. And so we can have, for example, personas assigned to individual building blocks on that page. And we can have like an intro module for developers, for content creators, for managers or something. And then have that information attached to our content in terms of metadata, structured data. We talked about that. and then do very efficient personalization, and then dynamic content on the front end.
Fantastic! Wow, that could be a topic for one presentation or LinkedIn Live itself.
Oh yeah, and we're just getting started. Like we've just set up the app, and it's baby steps, but the potential is huge.
Fantastic! So let's do another one in a year and see what we've achieved.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. So then, hey, Mats, you're responsible for a partnership network. So why do you guys have this marketplace? Why is it important for the partners and people alike?
I think there's a lot of good answers to this. I just wanted to start by saying I think, but looking at what you guys have done with the app, I mean, it's quite obvious that a system like Contentful and Frosmo is a perfect fit. And I'm saying that because personalization, you like smaller entities of content that you would stitch together on the front end to create a personalized experience. And the problem with that is that it can be really hard. You can make it very difficult. I mean, usually when you look at it, it's like the business side in an organization, they're quite on board with personalization, and the technical side also. Then we have the content creators in the middle, and that's where it gets tricky. And this is the problem you are solving with your app right now. So I think the part with assembling a digital stack, like a lot of the organizations are doing right now, is like finding out these different pieces, Contentful with the content, and we also need the personalization platform where you fill a very important role in the platform that many of the organizations are rolling out right now. And I'm really happy to see this. And what you're doing, I think, like from my perspective, looking into the app, is that you are building the bridge between the business, between the content creators and the developers by rolling out this app on our marketplace. And for a partner, you don't have, like, it's taking away that complexity of creating the user experience connected to personalization to the content creators, and you can focus on generating business value for your end customers. And the beauty of it is that it's quite easy to do so, as it is in our marketplace. It's basically a one-click install, and you're up and running, and you can start working with the segments that you have created in Frosmo. Yeah, so if I were a solution partner looking into personalization for our customers, I would definitely check this out more than once.
Fantastic. That's great to hear, Mats. And yeah, I can really recommend working with the Contentful team when creating the app. It's been a really nice, good collaboration, and very easy to use platform to launch the app. So great work there. So then I just wanted to highlight few last bits about the app itself. Mats already gave a great pitch about why it's so beneficial for
your show now.
Yeah, exactly. But just brief recap. So yeah, as said, it definitely saves editors time. There's no need to learn several different softwares. No need to jump between different systems. It also, this automation part we spoke about, that saves everyone's a lot of stress and reduces workload there. So you have this dynamic content that's automatically available of different personas, especially when Moritz explained about this fantastic modular approach. What we've seen is that when you apply personalization, it will definitely improve the user experience. For example, in the case of content sites, it reduces the bounce at the website because you get faster the relevant content. You want to move to the next pages also. And in general, it increases people spending more time and interacting with your site, which is always a good thing. And then if you don't have the relevant content, you know what to fix. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We had a nice 20 minutes conversation. Do you guys want to add anything else? If not, then I think what we're going to do next is we're going to get some users for this app, and then hopefully we can do another show together with some customers and companies and hear their feedback about it.
That sounds great.
That sounds great.
Awesome. Hey, Mats and Moritz, it was such a pleasure to have you guys. I really enjoyed this chat, and thanks for excellent collaboration.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Over and out. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, so then